Good morning. It is just after 7, between 7 and 7:15, like 7:10, something like that. It's a beautiful morning here in the Phoenix area. We are up and at 'em. We came here for two reasons: hiking, which I'm starting a hiking channel. I don't know, JQ Hikes, and for Cars and Coffee. This is, obviously I haven't been everywhere, but this is one of the best weekends for Cars and Coffee in the entire country. We're heading to 3 Cars and Coffees, 2 smaller ones and 1 huge one that almost always has something special. So let's hit the road and go check out these Cars and Coffee. All right, we are at our first Cars and Coffee. This is Scottsdale Southwest. Spectators can't park in the event area. That's just for people that are members, but you can park anywhere in the shopping center. This is at DC Market, or DC Ranch at Market Street. I just have my little Corolla hatchback Turo. This was supposed to be a G70 launch edition until that got wrecked before I rented it. So we are gonna go walk around this Cars and Coffee and see what's cool here. right, so we're done at Scooteria Southwest. For me, that is the old rich man's Cars and Coffee. You'll see some really crazy or some really special stuff there. But we're going to do another Cars and Coffee that has the exact opposite vibe. In fact, I won't be able to talk much on camera at it, if at all, because they always have a loud DJ playing. But if you want variety and some special stuff, this is the Cars and Coffee. And of the three we're going to this morning, the one I'm heading to now is the one you have to go to if you only go to one. So let's get there. All right, we're parked in the garage. By the way, it's $5 to enter the garage, but once again, only you can apply to be in this Cars and Coffee in the show area, and otherwise you got to go park spectator in the garage. And the garage is still pretty empty because it's pretty early, but sometimes the garage fills up with some really cool stuff too. So on the way out, if we spot anything, I'll highlight that as well. Let's go look at some cars. Now this is why I came here. Why you come to this one, because there's always something crazy here. But let's keep checking out some more cars. All right, that is the last of the Cars and Coffee that feels like a car meet that accidentally wrote AM instead of PM on their flyer. That was just the highlights of it. There was a lot of stuff. especially if you're into Porsche, there's every Porsche for the last 2 generations of 911, every version of the 718 there, every Porsche's there. A lot of the regular Ferraris, Lamborghinis, a lot of stuff, but a big mix of stuff. There's also a bunch of Mark IV Supras, a couple FDR X7s, some old muscle. That really is the best if you want a mix of stuff, but it also has the least cars and coffee vibe. Now we're going to go head to the cars and coffee, our last one of the day, that has much more of the connoisseur vibe, especially a coffee connoisseur. All right, we are at our last Cars and Coffee, and this one is the 4 till 4 Cars and Coffee. It's already 9:13, so it started about an hour and 13 minutes ago, and I saw a lot of Porsches going the wrong way. But this one is the more connoisseur-ish Cars and Coffee. It's the only one at an actual coffee shop, which I'm not a coffee drinker, but apparently I've heard has awesome coffee, they do specific weekends. The first Saturday of the month is Porsches and coffee, and then the first Sunday is motorcycles and coffee. The second Saturday is fast cars, so that's supercars and hypercars. I think the best weekend at 4 till 4. And then it's Shakedown, which is vintage Euro and JDM, and then the last Sunday is vintage off-road. I think I have all of those right. And the second Sunday is air-cooled Volkswagens. So they do very specific events, so it's much more of a connoisseur Cars and Coffee between the connoisseur coffee and the specific cars. But let's go see what's still here. All right, well, we're back in the car now. There wasn't anything too crazy there, but if you come at the right time for the Porsches and coffee at 4 till 4, I've seen a 959 there. I've seen a bunch of 918s. I've seen a bunch of Carrera GTs. So occasionally you do get some really special stuff at that one. Like I said, I think the second weekend, fast cars and coffee with the supercars and hypercars is probably the best one, or the Shakedown, which is the vintage Euro and JDM. So, hey, it's just the topper off of a really good Cars and Coffee morning, going to all 3 of those Cars and Coffees. We saw some really crazy stuff today. The highlight for me was the Gordon Murray. Let me know in the comments down below what your favorite was today. Have you gone to these Cars and Coffees? If you're in Arizona, are you going to go to these Cars and Coffees? The 4 till 4 has one every weekend, like I said. There used to be one at Alpio's at Troon. I don't know if that one still exists, but there's other Cars and Coffees that pop up, and all of them are good and all of them are crazy around the Phoenix and Scottsdale area, just because there's so much money around here. But thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna go hit a hike. Review coming on the Toyota Corolla hatchback at some point, and my other Turo, which I'll tease a little clip right after this video. So keep an eye out for those reviews. But thank you again so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I will see you in the next video. Have a good one. Bye.